Hello and welcome back to the Unthinkable Tech Podcast, the pulse on technology that is shaping our future. I am your host Anmol Satija, and today we'll be covering a topic that everybody is going crazy about. Any guesses? So yeah, you guessed it right. It is generative AI. Gen AI has emerged as a game changer across various domains of product engineering, revolutionizing the way we approach design, development, and even data management. In fact, a recent report by McKinsey reveals that organizations implementing AI in their operations have seen productivity increases of up to 40%. That is huge, right? So, from automating routine tasks to generating sophisticated predictive models, Gen AI is reshaping the way teams collaborate and innovate. So, today we'll be discussing something specific. That is, how Gen AI is reshaping the field of data engineering. As data volumes continue to explode and is expected to reach somewhere around 175 zettabytes by 2025, companies are under immense pressure to extract meaningful insights quickly and efficiently. So Gen AI is acting as a stepping stone to streamline data pipelines, automate data cleansing, and even assisting in data modeling. That allows data professionals to focus on strategic tasks rather than just doing the mundane operations. So to help us explore this dynamic intersection of Gen AI and data engineering, I am excited to welcome our guest for today's episode, Danish Bansal, a tech expert from Unthinkable Solutions. Danish brings a wealth of experience in leveraging AI technologies to derive data-driven decision-making and has been at the forefront of integrating Gen AI into data engineering practices. Hi Danish, welcome to the show.
Hi Anmol, thanks for inviting me. I am very excited to be here.
Great, so let's get the excitement rolling then and dive straight into our conversation. So to set the stage for our discussion, let's dive into the specifics of Gen AI. I want to ask what really sets Gen AI apart from the traditional AI, and as you have been closely following this space, how have you seen Gen AI evolve over the years in terms of maybe its capabilities and applications?
So Anmol, it's a very great question. So first of all, let me tell you how traditional AI and generative AI apart from each other. So basically, first of all, it is essential to know it's not just a change in a prediction or something like that. It's a whole of the paradigm shift. So basically, in traditional AI, what we generally do is we classify whether it's an image of a cat or an image of a dog, whether there is a person in an image. Okay, but in the context of generative AI, we actually generate some text or generate images, generate the videos from generate the audios from the scratch. We are not actually predicting something there.
Okay.
So so that is the main difference when we come to between traditional AI and generative AI.
Okay.
So to talk about the evolution of the generative AI, I first like to tell you about there were transformer models that was way before when the GPT and other LLM came. So to shift from the transformers to actually the big large language models, there was a need of very resources in terms of the computational resources. So to train a model like GPT-3, it required 45 terabytes of textual data. To load such data, we need dozens of hundreds of GPU memory to compensate that.
Right.
So to put it into the perspective, so training these models require very large infrastructure. Not only the training, but to deploy them, to get the inference out of them, to actually predict the generated text, we also require high number of GPUs on which they are there. Okay.
Right.
So if I talk about the impact over the industries, so let's say in finance, for finance, it can generate synthetic data for fraudulent transactions. These are the scenarios that GenAI can create from on their own, and that data can be used further to train a fraud detection model or something like that to enhance our data sets. Okay. So while we have seen the improvements and advancements in the generative AI, it's important to note that the quality of the generated content, particularly in the video, is not up to the mark right now. So like we have the stable diffusion models for generating the images. Okay, we have the voice model that can generate the voices. But right now the research on the video generation is going on, and it will obviously, like, academic research is gonna go, and it's gonna also gonna come better in the future.
Right. So, yeah, that was a great overview, Danish. I'll say that the breadth of generative AI's application is certainly impressive. Now let's dive deeper into this technology and see how it is specifically contributing to data engineering. So, what are some of the key ways you see GenAI enhancing this particular field?
So, generative AI is indeed revolutioning the data engineering, particularly in the realm of data enrichment. So, when I say data enrichment, it's something kind of adding a new feature or getting some information that is not currently available with the data. Okay, so if I get to one of the most significant contribution GenAI is the ability to automate and enhance the process of the refining, like without the actual human reviewer if need to be. Okay, so this include like basic tasks like if I give the GPT or LLM or unstructured data, it can structurize that data. Let's say I give a review, like textual review, it can generate a JSON response out of it, like it is a positive, neutral or negative, what is the rating that can give. Okay, that is a structured response. So when coming to particularly like it allows the organization to scale their data operations efficiently. For instance, I would like to give an example for a Middle East client, which is specifically into the food tech industry. So they strive to provide their users with a new filter. Okay, first of all, let me tell about how like what kind of data they have. So they are like leading in the restaurant data. So they have kind of data for all of the restaurants available in the whole country. Okay, so now they want to add a new feature of the cuisine. So they have the data about the restaurants and their meals, but they didn't have the data about which cuisine that meal lie into. Okay, so to provide this, we used generative AI to enhance this type of data. So you may think like this is not a bigger problem, like generative AI can easily solve, like you can easily ask GenAI like okay, this is butter chicken or this is like which cuisine it falls into, is it Indian, Mughlai and whatever. But the main thing was like how we're gonna do it in the data engineering way. Okay. So in the data engineering we have like around 8 million of the meals present. Like that's even for one country. Okay. So what we had to do is we need to pass those 8 million meals and then get the cuisine out of it. Moreover, these meals are at every hour, like 150k meals around every hour were updating because the new data is coming through and this is getting updated. So we need to include that part also.
Right.
Okay. So in this way, like they were able to provide a cuisine filter. And more like it was like a 20-minute total pipeline delay along with all other matching and processing. Okay. Moreover, like that about the text. But let's talk about another field, like for another client we have a UK which is leading in the real estate data. They have the data around all the properties of the UK.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
For each property, I will talk about the use case. So in that particular case, what client wanted is he wanted to show to the user the best possible image of the property. So for each property, we had around 10s or 15 images. Okay, but to select the best possible way, best possible image that represent that particular property, that was a manual task right now. Okay. So what we have done is like we implemented a pipeline which which utilizes the LLMs
Right.
specifically. So we provide the images, we prompt to the LLM and ask it to provide me the best suitable image based on our recommendations. So in that way, they were able to get the best possible image to the user.
Right. Thank you for those insightful examples, Danish. And I think it is evident that GenAI is not only enhancing data enrichment, but also enabling organizations to operate at a remarkable scale and efficiencies. However, with such powerful technology comes a set of responsibilities that can't be overlooked, right? So, as companies integrate GenAI into their digital engineering processes, they must grapple with a range of ethical and governance challenges. This leads us to a critical discussion, that is, what specific ethical and governance considerations should organizations be aware of when adopting GenAI? And I am particularly interested in knowing how companies can effectively address these challenges to ensure they harness the benefit of this transformative technology while maintaining integrity and compliance. So, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it's a crucial topic to address as organization embrace generative AI. There are several ethical and governance challenges so that companies should be mindful of, specifically when it comes to the safety of the data.
Right.
Nowadays, data is the key for everything.
Right.
So
Data is
protecting,
the new oil.
yeah. So like if you have the data, you are the like god of that particular domain. Okay.
Got it. Agreed.
So protecting that data comes the topmost priority for every organization, for every startup, for every product. So first, we know the data privacy is everything. So many APIs right now that you utilize, like you may are utilizing right now, may it be OpenAI, may it be Google's Gemini, may it be any other model available. So they generally saves your data for their research purposes. Okay. So you need to be very careful when you're sending your information out of to that particular APIs. So obviously, like you may have already given the consent to store that data. That is already there. But still, like there are compliances like the GDPR in the Europe, CCP in California, and various other compliances which particularly defines that you cannot share users' personal information without their consent to any external party if they have given the consent to you only. Okay.
Right.
So, there is like companies can like levy up to 20 million or 4% of their annual charges as their if they fail to meet this particular.
Right.
Okay. So to ensure that data doesn't leak to external organization, many companies like if there are big companies, whether they are startups, they generally go to another part of the like that to not use the AP, deploy it your own. Okay.
Right.
So in that way, if you have your own infrastructure, your data doesn't go anywhere. In that way, you at least protecting your data at one particular point. But deploying that part, as we have already discussed, deploying LLMs take lots of the resources, computational resources. So like for one company, we did this research and we find out like to accommodate 10-15 users, they had to pay around $8,000, $9,000 per month.
Okay.
To deploy on large scale models. Okay.
That's a huge amount.
Yeah, but for that particular client, they were able to pay, so they deployed it. But let's come to some startups that don't have so much funding right now.
Right.
Okay. So how would they do that? So right now, there is a particular topic in the AI that is on-edge deployments.
Okay.
So in on-edge deployments, what we do is we do not host the model in any of the servers. All the processing that will be done will be either on the user's device, or if they are using the browser, inside the browser, on the user's end, basically. So in this way, they can generate the responses, they can generate the text, whatever, on their device without even going to the internet, without even sending the information to the servers. So to specify this particularly, there is Gemini Nano right now in the beta release. So what they are doing is they are all doing every generation inside the browser. So they are basically in that way you can protect the data going out. And that is another significant concern is the phenomenon of hallucination. So when comes to the generation of the text, so in the traditional AI, we had the problems like classification regression. We can only have fixed outputs that need to be there. But in the generative AI, we generate the text, we generate the images. Okay, so this particular topic of hallucination comes along with it. So sometimes they generate the content that is misleading or even harmful. That is basically based on the bias of the data that it's trained on.
Okay.
So, like for an instance, if a model is trained on the biased data, it may generate outputs that are unethical for certain groups, leading to the reputational damage and ethical dilemmas for the organization. Like right now, if you go into the market, every big organization must have a reputation, specifically when it comes to the user's data. If any of the leakage got out, like if the user data get leaked or something like that, they are exposing the user information. It's really painful, even for me as a user, as a privacy, and even the organization as their security measures. Okay. Moreover, organization should be proactive about conducting thorough audits of the data. Let's say they are using the GenAI for generating the data, so they should have a proper review systems in line, so that they can at least, a human can at least double check the generated data before pushing it into the production systems.
Agreed.
Okay. So in terms of compliance, it's also worth noting about the upcoming regulations, such as EU AI Act, which aims to regulate AI technologies based on the risk levels.
Okay.
So in this way, like basically that particular act will tell you where you need to implement, where you can implement GenAI, and where in which fields you certainly not allowed to implement the GenAI. So organizations should prepare for, I think, these changes right away, because these acts are right now coming in the EU, but in future, US is also coming with the act. So the countries are gonna make the
right. Everybody is gearing up for GenAI. Yeah, that was quite an insightful answer, Danish. And I think it's clear that while the potential benefits are significant, the responsibilities that come with this technology are equally substantial. Now, shifting our gears a bit, let's talk about the tangible outcomes of these efforts. For executives looking to justify their investments in AI, it's essential to quantify the value generated by AI-powered data enrichment. So this leads us to an important question, that is, how can executives effectively measure and quantify the value they derive from AI-driven data enrichment initiatives within their organizations?
Yeah. So it's vital to quantify the value generated by AI-powered data enrichment. Okay. So there are several key areas that executives should focus on. First off, let's talk about the development cost savings. Okay. One of the immediate benefits of integrating GenAI is the reduction of manual labor cost. Okay. I would like to explain this point with my personal experience. Okay, so in 2020, I was working on a particular project where teachers can upload the images of the questions, and that questions are getting in a digital bank. Okay, so at that time, GenAI was not there. Okay, so that solution, I think, nearly took around 500-600 hours to get implemented. But if that solution I have to implement right now, with the help of the GenAI, which can understand the images so perfectly and also do the basic tasks like OCR right away, So that solution, I think we can implement easily in 200 hours.
Okay.
Right now. So that's about, how development savings.
Yeah. Understood. Right.
So then there's second aspect, faster time to market. Okay, like initially development took 600 hours. So obviously, like after there was QA sessions and then user acceptance testing, all of that. But faster time to market, now we have already done all the development in 200 hours. Obviously, the time coming to the market also gonna increase. So in today's fast-paced world, like if you are going to market quickly, if you are going to meet the demands of the market quickly, you are the key player there.
Right.
According to a research done at McKinsey, they said like companies leveraging the AI in their operations can see a 50% time to market improvements. Okay, so coming like another critical metric is the enhanced data accuracy. Okay, traditional data handling is prone to human error, but AI can help you achieve the rates exceeding 95%. And let's not forget about the customer satisfaction. Ultimately, the goal of all of this is to improve the customer's experience. When you enhance the accuracy and the relevance of your data, you're likely to see the improved customer satisfaction and retention. Happy customer leads to the business. It's simple math.
Yeah. So thank you for breaking that down, Danish. Those are some of key metrics that every organization should consider while measuring AI's impact. And now that we have explored the immediate value and metrics associated with AI powered data enrichment, let's look ahead a bit. So, I'm eager to know what strategic or long term benefits should executives anticipate from integrating Gen AI with their data engineering practices.
A great question, Anmol. So when we talk about long-term benefits of integrating Gen AI with data engineering, it's essential to understand that this technology transforms the organizations, not just operationally, but strategically as well. Okay. First, let's address the misconception. Okay. Gen AI itself doesn't analyze any data. Okay. In traditional sense, at least. Okay. But it is highly effective in generating the scripts, recommendations, or the code for the models that can help analyze that particular data. So when integrating with existing data infrastructures, Gen AI can streamline complex workflows and automate tasks. Okay, allowing the teams to work on the higher value strategic tasks rather than this analyzation that can be done with the Gen AI. For instance, we recently developed an application for our client in which they needed a system capable of understanding the queries in the human language, but giving the output from their own data. Okay. So in that particular case, so the users were like the C-level or executives. Okay. So they actually know what they want to know. Okay. So they know they want to know the revenue of the past 5 years. They want to know about they want to know the yearly breakdown of the sales. So, but they don't know how to code that, right? So we created a portal where they can simply write, show me the yearly breakdown of sales by region over the past decade. So Gen AI can take that natural information, convert it into the code, run it into the data warehouses, and get that numbers to the user.
Oh, that's impressive.
Yeah. So in this case, generative AI understands the intent behind the user's natural language request, automatically generates the script, and obviously run it over the warehouses. That can all be automated with the Gen AI. So now coming out of only the clearing the misconception, so then there's an impact on the innovation in product development also. Generative AI enables organization to explore new ideas and market opportunities in a way that was previously unimaginable. Imagine being able to simulate various product scenarios based on the historical data before launching your product. This iterative testing allows companies to refine their offerings and ensure they meet the customer demand right from the start. Like they can research on how they can launch a campaign. Okay, so that can be done by generative AI. They can take suggestions, they can research.
Right.
Okay, so they can reduce their research time by around 90% even in some cases. Another significant benefit is the scalability and agility. Okay, so as business grow, their data needs become more complex. Generative AI can help them scale their data operations efficiently.
Right.
Okay, so like handling a larger data sets without potential increase in manpower. Okay, that's the most profitable thing that you can do with the Gen AI. Okay, once you created a solution that can run on either 1 GB of data or 1 terabyte of data,
Right.
you just need to increase the computational resources, and that's all. So,
Okay.
and let's not overlook the competitive advantage. Companies that effectively harness Gen AI can stand out in their markets. They can deliver better customer experiences and respond to the market changes faster, which can include to the increased market share. Okay.
Right.
So, lastly, integrating Gen AI fosters a cultures of innovation within the organization. So, teams can think more creatively. Teams can use AI tools to work on something faster. So, even like it encourages the mindset of a person to do more experimentation and agility.
Right. I think it's fascinating to see how Gen AI can not only address immediate challenges but also lay the groundwork for long term strategic advantages. Now, as we wrap up our today's episode, I want to leave you all with a thought. The journey of innovation is often filled with challenges, but it is also where the magic happens. Gen AI has the potential to unlock new pathways for creativity, efficiency, and growth. So, thank you, Danish, for your insights. Loved talking to you, and it was a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Anmol, for having me. Really enjoyed the conversation, and I hope with my experience, I have been able to address at least some curious minds.
Yeah, for sure. And thank you to our audience for joining us. We hope you are inspired to take the next step in your AI journey. So don't forget to subscribe and share your thoughts with us. Until next time, keep listening to the Unthinkable Tech Podcast. Take care and bye.